Hey guys, Tomboy61, and today we have the not so review of the Zuiho. Usually, when a new ship comes out, I'd come and review it, but right now, where the Zuiho is, and given the course that will change in the coming days, I don't feel like it is the correct time to review the Zuiho. The Zuiho is, of course, the first ever premium aircraft carrier we've seen in World of Warships Legends. We all knew it was coming. I, for one, could have sworn it was going to be like Enterprise or, one of the big American ones that they'd just get us to just fill their pockets with. But uh, I have theories, and we'll go ahead and talk about that. But the reason we're not doing a full review on the Zuiho and more of just a overview match of it, just to give you an idea of what it's about, is, well, carriers are changing next update. I have not yet seen the future patch notes, but at the update stream, at the beginning of this update, the devs were like, hey, just a heads up, carrier concealment is being looked at, and you should anticipate things, and Zuiho is more in line with those future changes. And then after Zuiho was released, we got a kind of note in the Discord saying, Legends, there are concerns about Zuiho that we'd like to address with this message. First off, her concealment is currently worse than her peers, but it will normalize come next update since all carriers are going to have their concealment corrected. So that's one thing. I didn't want to review Zuiho without seeing what it is like in the new update. My theory, my what I think is going to happen is I think Zuiho will end up being the stealthiest of the tier 5 aircraft carriers, which should be a rude awakening, because if you look at already what her detection radius is, you are now kind of forced to play in that backfield. With the current kind of concealment of the ships, you don't need to really play in the backfield with the aircraft carriers. You can sort of stick with your teams. You can push up when needed because you have the concealment to kind of make the runs, get behind islands. But now, with Zuiho's current concealment, you are very much a backline ship if you don't want to get spotted, because as soon as you get spotted, that you're going to get shot at. That's just the way it is. Now, as far as what benefits Zuiho brings to the game, well, one, right now she does have the worst concealment. I have a feeling she's going to have some of the best concealment. Her planes have better concealment, though they are slower. Also, they are slightly tankier than the tier 5 Ryuju's planes, but they are still the Japanese planes are still the weakest of them all, if that makes sense. The Germans still have the strongest planes and the fastest planes, which is sort of weird as far as a balancing effort goes. And then the American planes are also more sturdy, so Zuiho kind of steps up the HP from her Japanese counterpart, the tier 5 Ryuju, but Zuiho is still not the most tanky. But the added hit points are absolutely nice. You don't take any damage for it. It's what the balancing factor is there. Well, it's going to be the speed of these aircraft. So, with all that said, what do I think of Zuiho? It's fine. Like, it is nothing too special. If you like aircraft carriers, I think you just wait until we have more information on the on what is exactly changing with future aircraft carriers, and seeing if this concealment that they are now going to sell us is worth the investment into Zuiho. We don't know yet, but that I have a feeling that they are setting up certain things. I also have a feeling where we may get Enterprise now, and this is my feeling, because now we know, of course, that this next campaign is going to be 2 separate ships, that you get to choose one at the end, and if you would like the other ship, you can purchase it. So you will be able to purchase a tier 7 premium ship, a top tier ship. Well, not legendary, but I'm still in the mindset that tier 7 is more the top tier. You will be able to outright purchase a tier 7, which is something that you usually can't do in this game. It will be the first time. They're setting that precedent that a tier 7 ship will be 17,500 doubloons. Now, why is that important when it comes to aircraft carriers? Well, the big names like Enterprise, well, you know that's going to be a tier 7 aircraft carrier. Right now, we don't got a tier 6, we don't got a tier 4 aircraft carrier. We got 3, 5, and 7, and I don't think they could justifiably make something like Enterprise, and we all know Enterprise is the big ticket ship of that. I don't think you could justify it being a tier 5. So it's going to be a tier 7. I have a feeling this is kind of them inching towards the ability to purchase tier 7s in the game. But that's just my conspiracy. I don't have any other proof of it, but reading the tea leaves, if you will, that is my current theory. So yeah, that's my main rant as far as this video goes. Our team doing pretty well. The other team down to just 3 battleships and an aircraft carrier. New York is off on its own, which means it's time for us to pick on it, because that's sort of what you got to do in the aircraft carriers to be successful. Find ships that have decided to go off on their own and just pick on them. Just absolutely, you know what? Hey, I know you're trying to be a good teammate, not following the other, getting in superior positioning. So we're going to go ahead and punish you and make you regret being a actual decent player by not following your teammates around. So here we go, going in on the last dive of this set with the torpedo bombers. Sadly, we do not get to make the full run as New York goes down. We're up to 41,000 damage if you haven't been paying attention. Zuiho, as far as my build, well, I'm running what I would call the full whale build, and by that I mean I am running a commander with all special commanders. So Iona is going to be my commander, and then we're running Starscream and Space Fishy as the inspirations. Like I said, the full whale build, just because, you know, I want to give it the best chance. Iona, I think her skill is really strong, beefing up that ability to recall aircraft to get new aircraft to replenish them. Starscream, increasing the speed at which planes fly back. All of those are going to be definite, or sorry, Starscream increases the cruise speed of the aircraft, and Space Fishy helping out with the speed on those torpedoes, because we all know they can be a little tough to aim, especially if you're trying to get into destroyer territory and trying to hit them. The quicker the torpedoes, the better chance you have at hitting them, because they don't have enough time to react, and that's exactly what we want. We want our torpedoes, which are, you know, the Japanese strong suit, to be our strong suit. Anyways, we go ahead, drop this last set of bombs on Congo, set another fire, and now he's burning on down. And we'll go ahead, make this last turn, see if we can get one more drop. The one nice thing I do have to say about Zuiho is it does do very well. The buff in HP to both sets of aircraft are definitely one that you end up feeling in the game. It does definitely let you make those drops, have those planes come back more often. It does feel like an overall buff just to the Japanese aircraft, which I do quite enjoy. So now we have our last battleship out, and we're going to go ahead and set our course towards sea. We're confident we should be able to eliminate this New York, though I just saw the Mutsu's health, and I was like, actually, maybe not. Let's not take chances with our life. We're going to go ahead and try to isolate this New Yorker. I mean, he is already isolated. As we saw earlier with that other New York, we can absolutely easily go into his AA bubble and be able to drop the majority of our torpedoes without taking any hits, which is exactly what we want to do. So it's time to go ahead and start picking up on this New York and starting to plan where we're going to go next, because of course we have A and B. If you can get the cheeky cap off with an aircraft carrier, you always want to just get that free XP. We go ahead and start off our first run. That is one of the things I'm kind of, it's unfortunate for Zuiho, and I guess what will be the direction of upcoming aircraft carriers is the reduction in concealment, because it is going to get a lot harder to play the aircraft carriers very soon, and the wall hugging / I'm just gonna go the furthest amount away destroyers are going to become a huge threat to aircraft carriers. I think that is going to be the one thing we are going to see. I got my agile Eagle, whatever you want to see. The one premium ship we've all been trying to get a Kraken for this week. I got that. We'll go ahead and show that game on Wednesday. But if you watch it, we do end up kind of getting an aircraft carrier, Zuiho, cornered fairly easily and fairly early in the game, and it's all because of the kind of poor concealment of the vessel. And if Zuiho ends up being the most concealed of the vessels, I'm kind of worried for what aircraft play is going to devolve into, especially because I think the strategy will become just take a fast destroyer and wall hug out to where you know it spawned, and either get your ships to sort of snipe it or just do a stealth torpedo drop and be done with it. I really do think I don't know what the new solution will be, but I have a feeling that destroyers are getting their balancing factor against aircraft carriers, and it's going to be ugly for those aircraft carriers because they got introduced in this game. They were somewhat powerful. When they were powerful, they got nerfed. I mean, look at the German aircraft carriers, and now I think they are going to become a punching bag for the community. And part of me says rightfully so. I think while the gameplay is different and interesting, having played through Zuiho this week, I always am like, okay, I got a decent game to show. I can go ahead and not touch this aircraft carrier again. I'm also currently trying to get through my Ranger and my Ryuju as far as tech tree wise, so I'm playing one game in those a day just to kind of go for the win. And even that, it's like, okay, I'm good to go back to service ships. So if they want to keep punching bagging the aircraft carriers, I'm kind of okay with it, just because it'll be nice to get something else done. But guys, that was the game. I think we end up finishing mid-tier. You know how aircraft carrier games go. You ain't here for huge XP gains. We're top 3. That's pretty decent. Anyways, guys, if you like the video, go hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. See ya.